How we all doing? Oh, it's freezing. Freezing, so it is. Just going to nick in a wee bit of shelter here. Get a wee live. That's better. Oh, that's the snow starting. Oh. Who we got here? Grego. I'll be up there in 2 weeks. How are you, mate? Where are you going? Oh. And all I ever knew, only you. It's empty. It's empty. Got a dribble left. That was hardly worth the wait. Oh. Shocking weather in Lincolnshire, is it? That's unusual. Lincolnshire's normally quite nice. Lincolnshire. Used to fish in Lincolnshire. Used to go to a place called Baston Fen. I'm sure that was Lincolnshire. It is. It's Cambridgeshire. No, it's Lincoln. Baston Fen. Do you know it? I'm in Glencoe, Gerald. I'm looking down the glen just now. The traffic going that way, north, because it's Friday, is really heavy. Every third vehicle's a camper. Everybody's out doing it. You want to see? There's the tarring squads. They're out fixing all the roads through Ballahoolish. And that's the glen down. That's Rannochmoor down there. Down to King's House. Over the hill to Bridge of Orchy and Tyndrum, Crean Larrock. Beautiful. I've came round for the glen there, round the back end of the Buckle. Freezing. It's freezing round there. The wind's absolutely wild. Gaz McEwen, how you doing, Gaz? How you doing, mate? Long time no see, brother. Hope you're well. My old pal there. Some boy, Gaz. I'm laughing because we used to have some parties in his mum and dad's house a long time ago. What would that be, Gary? Mid-90s, early 90s? What would be the early 90s? 1990, thereabouts, 91. Bloody hell, man. 30 odd years ago. 30 years ago, Gary. That's you showing your age, mate. Gary will be 47, 48, 47 he'll be anyway. Aye, they were the days, boy. Stevie Dignan on the decks. Big Peter Shields. Clyde. No, Peter, what was his name? Wasn't he Shields, was it? It was Clyde. Big Clyde. Big Peter, he was a lovely big guy. And Dignan on the decks. Aye, so up in Glencoe, it's freezing cold this morning. Through the night, temperatures plummeted. A lot of cloud today. Last night, the sky was crystal clear. A lot of stars out. You could see, you know, everything, but it was absolutely freezing. And up high this morning, I would say -5, -6 anyway, in parts. There's no thaw up here yet. Even at the base of the the mountains, it's the ice is still, you know, all the little waterfalls are frozen solid through the night. And when I was crossing a couple of the rivers there, icicles everywhere, so it's absolutely freezing. So I'm probably going to move down the glen a little bit. I was going to head over the back to Biddy and Nambian, more so over the hill there, but it looks really busy, and all the laybys will be busy, and I don't like that. I don't mind it. I don't mind chatting with folk and stuff, but it gets a little bit. Noisy, and I'm not here for noise. I'm not here for peace. So when you lie here in this lee side of the heather where I'm lying just now, it's absolutely roasting. The grass is actually really warm and the heather's bone dry. So you get a good heat. I'm going to go down to the river. I've got 4 or 5 bottles in my backpack. I'm going to fill them. That's me get my tea and my coffee sorted, my porridge. And I'm also going to, I've got a wee bottle of shower gel. I'm going to get in and have a wee head to toe, wee cold water dip. Brass monkeys. I can see 10 vehicles just now, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them are campers. That's how popular it's got. It's I don't even know if you can, if I can turn that round and zoom that in, you'll actually see the tail end of there's the last one there. You see it? Way there in the distance. That's a roller team, I think. That's a roller team van. Yeah, some amount of campers up here just now. And looking down back towards King's House. It looks beautiful down there, but it's very, very cold, guys. Really freezing. Had a lot of interest in people coming out with us. If you're going to come out, let me zoom in a wee sec, right? Sorry, zoom out. The absolute necessity, guys, is boots, right? Their Salawas, they're a kind of 4-season boot, and the reason being, you're walking, it's a cold time of year, you're walking across all sorts of terrains, boulder fields, pathways, and you need something decent in your feet. A lot of people are asking me, can you do it with trainers on? I wouldn't be comfortable taking anybody up with trainers on. They give you absolutely no support at all. None. You get runners and fell runners and stuff that go up with trainers on. These guys are doing hundreds of miles a week with trainers. Their ankles are very, very used to it. You know, the balls of their feet, they're used to a certain kind of, you know, pronation and rotation. They know exactly what they're doing. They know about foot placement. Novices don't, because they're paying attention and they're looking at the scenery, and they stand in a stone and their ankle pops, and then we've got problems. So boots is an absolute must. A decent jacket, synthetic down or down. You know, you don't need to spend a lot of money. You'll get one for 50 quid in Decathlon, which is perfectly usable. A couple of decent base layers. A wee Mountain Hardware scarf for a £5. I think Braemar Sports were selling them off. They were 20 quid, but I think now they're selling them off. You can pick these scarves up for 5 quid. Get a wee neck scarf, guys, for a £5. And a hat and a pair of thin gloves. I use mitts. It's very unusual to see me with gloves because my hands suffer badly with cold. So, boots are a necessity. And then you need a wee day sack. You're not carrying the world in it, because I would be carrying most of the gear. But you would have a waterproof outer, and you would have a couple of gel sachets and some fluids. You might want to carry a little lightweight flask, so you've got at least 2 wee hot drinks. Have them a couple hours apart, they make a massive difference. But yeah, a lot of people asking to come out. I would, if somebody wants to come out, they're welcome. It's for everybody to be enjoyed, and it doesn't need to always be up high, you know, things like that behind me. It can be anywhere. It can be the little corbets, you get them in rows, you know, which are 3,000 feet plus. Then you get the corbets, and the Grahams are below them. The little ones, you know, 400-500s, little Grahams, little small things. They're not small, they're big for somebody that's not been before. And I know a great couple of areas with loads of nice little summits. They're close to the car park, there's no major walks in, you know, you're a kilometre or two, which is a good warm-up. Loosens you off and then you get up. So aye, there's loads of different ways to do this. It doesn't need to all be about. I enjoy punishing myself up these mountains, and I enjoy the. So it's almost masochistic at times what I do, but I enjoy it. That's me. It's just a personal thing. I like the pain. So, and I like to test myself. And something small is not really particularly testing once your fitness is up, but it is testing for somebody that's not done it before. So don't be fooled. And some days I've got little energy and I'm knackered, and if I've been hammering it for a few days and I've done a lot of kilometres and a lot of altitude, your body tightens up and your legs are full of lactic acid, and you go and you climb up a couple of 100 metres and all of a sudden you hit the wall and you're gubbed. You've got to load up with carbs, load up with fluids. You know, fluids and salts are a big part of it. Amino acids, stuff like that, it's important. But aye, anybody's welcome. Let me see some of the comments. Let me see. Oh, bloody hell. How did I not notice all these? Betty, yep, I'm well, thank you. Wazza, all good, mate. Richie, aye, it's cold, mate, for sure. Craigo, road trip, Easter break. Get in there. Ash String, positive vibes. Ash, we were in Glencoe. I think Deco might be away. I think he might be away down the road, mate. He had some stuff to do today. Although I don't know, because I can't see that far down the glen. I'm kind of blocked behind some hills, but we had a good night last night, and we were, you know, I think we were chatting away at about 1 o'clock this morning. Cheers, Ash. Deco, good regatta jackets, mate. Good, yep. Decathlon gear's brilliant. Can't beat it. I wear their mitts because it keeps my fingers together. I've got really bad circulation because I broke my hands quite a few times and they get really cold. Richie's saying it was -2 in central Glasgow this morning. Can well believe it, mate. It was about -5 or 6 up here through the night. It was maybe even colder. Oh, is Deco saying he's still up here? Oh, is he? Do you know, he might have went away for supplies. He might have went away to a shop. We've got a wee generator. We need a spark plug and a spark plug key. So he's maybe away for that, mate. You might be right. I just can't see. I can normally see, but when I go over this next hill, I'll see down. But I'm going down onto the river down there to get water for us. Yeah, I'll get about, you know, 7 or 8 litres. That'll do us next few days. Next couple of days anyway. Where did the comments go? Robert Sanger, it sounds amazing. Yep. Nilo, how you doing, brother? Yeah, we're lucky. Carol, yep. Beautiful country, absolutely stunning. Carol, I spend my time up here and I never get bored looking. I don't know, every time you look in the same direction, you see something different that you've missed before. I've also got a really good quality pair of binoculars, and I can zoom right in the crevasses and stuff and the gullies. And Deco's on saying if it wasn't for his 3 dogs in the van last night, he would be dead. No, he's back in the house, guys. He's back in the house. Brian, how you doing, mate? I'm great, thank you. Dot, how you doing? Yep, definitely get you out for sure. You'd love it up here. Place is amazing. Yeah, you could team up, definitely get yous out. Give it another month maybe. 6 weeks for the weather to get better, guys. And yeah, get yous tented up. I know loads of little patches down by this river, up and down the glen, down at Triple Falls. It's a great spot down there. You could stick up 3 or 4 tents and have a good weekend. Do I serve tea? Yeah, I do serve tea. I make great tea, Donna, and I make great coffee, and I can drink gallons of this stuff. I was talking to a guy earlier. He was going to he's like, you get the King's house. I says, no, I'm going for a beer. He says, do you fancy going for a beer? I says, that sounds great, but I don't drink. He's like, no, not at all. I says, no, I don't drink. Don't touch it. Many years off it. But the way he was talking about it, you know, you could see he was desperate for a beer. And good on him, he's probably walked miles up the valley, up the loop. You left Deco, you left your heater off, did you? I could hear you snoring, mate. You're loud. Wee Delicious going to get themselves some boots. Yep, just make sure they fit. Don't know where you're based, but you know, if you go into a TISO or something in Glasgow, or just make sure they fit. And try on as many pairs of boots as you can. They're all different widths, they're all different shanks. And Neilo, you'll be welcome anytime, mate. Me and you've got a lot of chat about the boxing. You're in Paisley, Delicious, so yeah. Well, do you know, in Paisley you've got Summits, down where the old Dooley Cycles used to be. Summits is a fantastic shop. It's one of the best shops in Scotland, believe it or not, and the owner is a super knowledgeable guy who has been all over the world climbing. And yeah, you'll get a good pair of boots in there and you'll get them properly fitted. And that's mega important. Mega important. You got to get them fitted. That's somebody phoning me there. Who's that? Colin Belshaw phoning. Shout out to Saltire Gym. Colin, I'll phone you back in a minute, mate. I'm just doing a wee live. Yeah, somebody's saying there they don't drink, they don't take drugs, guys. I'll have anybody out. We can, you know, you can make this a great community for getting people back to good health, getting, you know, coming back to life. That's what my channel's all about. From the darkness, from whatever's been dragging you down. Decathlon is good for boots. They do some great deals. They sell La Sportiva, they sell Scarpa. So yeah, and they sell them at great prices. Aye, shout out to Saltire Gym there. I don't know what Colin's phoning for. I'll need to bell him back. So good boots, guys, is important. You know, you don't need to be spending fortunes, but a decent pair of boots, you know, all leather or Gore-Tex, it's a personal choice. I'm into the Gore-Tex and the man-made fabrics. I wore leather boots for years and I just moved away from them. No particular reason, to be honest with you. I just thought the technology was moving faster with the man-made stuff. But leather boots are absolutely, they're classics for a reason. They last forever. You know, you'll get 10 years out of a pair. Treat them properly, wax them up, and look after them, clean them regularly, and get all the crap out of them, because it's the crap that eats into them. You know, all sorts of toxins in the soil and stuff. And our weather's wild. You know, boots get an absolute doing. The sole will go before the boots go, but you can get them resold. But yeah, go and have a look and size them up properly. Make sure they fit. And I recommend a wee thin sock liner, a wee Bridgedale, and then I recommend a merino outer sock. And the reason I say that is because there's a thing called hot spots. And if you get blisters, your weekend's over. I don't get them because my boots fit properly and they're well broken in and I know how to layer. I wear a Bridgedale sock and I wear, well, I've got gaiters on it, I would show you. And I wear a merino outer sock. And that's that. And in the really hot months, I wear a Bridgedale liner with a Cool Max sock on the outside. And I buy good socks. There's no hot spots, you don't get any piling, they don't roll forward and you end up with a load of sock at the front of the boot. No, good sock should fit your feet perfectly. Ritchie fire trap boots, they're more a fashion boot, mate, but do you know, for walking a loop walk or something, mate, they'd be absolutely fine. For going up altitude, I don't know, I would have to see them, mate, but to be honest with you, for doing loop walks and stuff, they're absolutely fine, especially just for a weekend away, you know, doing a bit of camping and a couple of wee, you know, 4, 5k or 10, 8, 9k loop walks. Yeah, they'd be fine, mate. They'd be absolutely fine. Trespass are a massive company. They make all sorts of good kit, and it's, I mean, their prices are brilliant. Their prices capture an enormous portion of the market, and for good reason. Dooley's was a great shop. It's still in Glasgow, but it's up the centre. It's in Paisley, sorry. It's up the centre now. Let me see these comments, guys. I can't keep up. The old Kilpatrick Hills are fantastic. Up around Cocknowlock and the Humphrey and Jaw Reservoir. They're absolutely stunning, those hills. Deco Gore-Tex. Well, get yourself out, Deco, if you're all packed and ready to go. Brian's talking about Altbergs. Altberg do a lot of the military boots now. Kyle, Loa is the best. Loa's debatable, mate. I've had Loa's for years. Tissot is expensive, but, you know, nothing's cheap now. Loa are great boots. A lot of the military boys wear Loa. Going back to my era. And then Altbergs came in and took a bit over. But Loa are fantastic. Scarpa are hard to beat. Scarpa are top quality. They always have been. They're a market leader for good reason. A lot of the mountain leaders in the Marines wore Scarpas exclusively. I'm into the Salawas, guys, and I love the Salawa boots. They're really well made. They're solid. There's very little play in them. But there's so many brands. La Sportiva, there's so many out there. You know, Bergos, Brasher, you could go round and round and round forever. Mindo are great boots. One of my all-time favourites were handwags. And my red and black handwags are about 14 or 15 years old now. But I don't like the way handwags went. I think they've got the wrong design team in. They've lost their classic kind of alpine kind of quality, and they now seem to be a cheaper kind of brand. I don't like the way handwags went, and handwag were one of the best handmade boots that money could buy. Where is it you're from, Deco? You're talking about no transport. You know, we could arrange something, mate. We could get you some help there, probably. You know, if we're offering it, we're happy to meet people in the middle. Of course. Oh. So I don't know where you're from, mate. Richie, my son is in the Marines. He's just about to pass out. He lost the hearing in his left ear during an exercise a couple of months ago. He lost the hearing in his right. So your son's in the Marines just now? Opinionated Glaswegian, if you like a wee joint, that's your business, mate, in your tent. We're talking about the other kind of drugs, and we're talking about the booze. Booze turns people into maniacs. There's my hearing aids there. And it was 50 caliber machine gun fire that cost me my hearing. And a breech explosion. So there you go. And although it's not windy just now, you can see that by the heather, right? But I've always got a whooshing sound in this ear, and I've definitely got tinnitus starting as well. But I'm in talks with somebody just now about it to get on a waiting list for some Bluetooth hearing aids, because these are horrible. A joint's okay, aye. It's the other stuff we don't like. We don't want people being maniacs. but I don't have a opinion about MD does. I'm only talking for myself. His internal ear defender fell out during a shooting exercise. Well, that's a fault on the training team then, because he should have been removed off the firing line immediately, and that should have been noticed. I wonder, just because he's in training, he didn't have the confidence maybe to speak up, but he should have ceased firing and put his weapon down straight away. And yeah, that's a bit of a failing on the firing range commander. And these things do happen. They're live firing exercises. They happen, and that's just the way it is, you know. Somebody's saying about a pipe there. I don't know what you're talking about, mate. Sorry, I'd assume it's DMT. I don't know what that is. Aye, Deco, you're in Crookston. Huck, you're 5 minutes away, man. We can sort that out, Deco. That's not an issue, mate. So he's in a couple of months. Richie, my pal's son, is also in training just now at Limpston, and his name's Connor. I wonder if he knows him. Connor Hartshorn. His dad was a Marine also. Yep. So aye, he's in training. He probably knows him. It's a great place for a young guy, Limpston. I was 18 when I went down there. What can I say? It's life changing. Yeah, listen, anybody that wants... Greg Adam. Yeah, I'll ask Connor if he knows him. Guys, anybody that wants to do this, I mean, we don't, you know, these hills are free. It's the people that own these hills, it's not anybody else. And it's an hour and a half, you know, an hour and 40, 50 minutes up the road from Glasgow. It's not far. And as soon as you come to the top of Loch Lomond, all your problems disappear and all your stresses are gone. You know, you could come up here and turn your phone off and be in another planet. It's that type of place, it has that type of effect on you. That's why we come here. And I know that, you know, Deco's a Glasgow boy, but he's been loving it up here lately. You can see the difference in him. He's been loving the peace and loving the quiet. And, you know, just the whole karma of the place. There's something very, very, you know, there's something very practical and very simple about just having the basics in life and getting on with the basics. You don't need too much. And when you turn off the tech and when you turn off the outside world and you don't need to listen to drama and stuff, it's incredible what it does for your overall well-being. We're all guilty of being involved in things that we don't need to be involved in. Absorbing drama, absorbing other people's bad karma and bad energy. Why? Why would you want to? You'd have to pay me an awful lot of money now to sit in a room full of drama queens. I have no interest in it whatsoever. I don't care what anybody's doing. Good luck to them. Alex saying that he's had a lot of alcohol problems. Well, it takes a man to admit it, Alex, so all respect to you, brother, and I hope that, you know, you come through it, and I hope that you're on the journey. Yeah. You know, I'm 7 years away from it, and I would never go back. Life changing. I don't have any interest in it. It doesn't do anything for me. It just, I just see it as an anchor. I see alcohol and, you know, social, recreational drugs. I see them as an anchor. They're like a set of brakes. They put the anchors on you and hold you back in life. No one's going to convince me. You can all try and anybody can say anything. People say they function better when they're stoned. I'll take you up a mountain and see how far you can function when you're stoned. I know what the answer will be. Contrary to what you think. And that's just life. That's just from experience. And you won't convince me otherwise. I've had all the arguments I want to have with people telling me that they they think better when they're stoned out their minds, and they think better when they're bullshit. Sorry, but bullshit. You get all of that out of your system properly, and you find yourself in a good place in life, you'll never be clearer in life, and you'll never have more clarity. That's a fact. So you can argue among yourselves in that one, because I'm not interested. But yeah, it's a beautiful day. I'm going to go down the river, fill the water bottles, and I'll head back. I don't probably need as much water now because the wee fella's away. But he might appear back, or he might appear back tomorrow, because he's up and down like a yo-yo up this place. He loves it. It's either that or he loves my good banter, I don't know. Anyway, guys, this is the life. Living by choice, not by necessity. Watching all of these people going about their wherever it is they're going. Well, Alex, I hope that you stop getting pulled back in, and I hope that you find the strength, mate. And if you want to reach out, and if we can do anything for you, as I say, we're not experts. We're just guys that's been there, and you know, we're only trying to live better, brother. And that's what it's all about. So if we can help you in any way at all, we're happy to help. Yeah, Betty, you're absolutely right to disagree. That's what it's all about. That's the beauty of social media. We can maybe debate it over a cup of tea one night. But that is it. That's just my opinion. Yeah, Betty, I'm on Instagram. My Instagram is AC Shine a Light. And as I say, yep, I've got a lot of friends suffer from addiction. You know, a lot of my family members, alcohol's a big thing. And yeah, it's around us all. It affects everybody. It's like a cancer. It's in every walk of life. And there'll be nobody gets away scot-free from it. Even those that don't do it are in a roundabout way affected by it. The partners, loved ones. And if it's done wrong, it's toxic, and if it's done right, it's enjoyable. It's a Jekyll and Hyde. It's, you know, it's like the double-edged sword that we've all been round it. You know, you can drink yourself into oblivion and all your problems disappear, and then you wake up in a cell and you don't know how you got there. So you need to be careful what you wish for. But it's not all bad. Millions of people enjoy a drink every day and they don't have any issues. It's the ones scalping 15 bottles of wine a week with their evening meals telling us they've not got a problem that's the issue. It's so readily available, and it is so cheap, and it's just everywhere that it's abused. That's why. PTSD. PTSD, that's a horrible thing, very misunderstood. It's also misaligned, it's mislabelled with a lot of people. It's given out, you know, almost like Smarties these days, that label. You mention ex-military and a GP will go, oh, PTSD. It's not the case. Most guys joined the military with problems and the military just manifested them. Again, that's from experience. Don't blame the military for anything in my life. It was my choice to go there. It was absolutely my choice to go there. Everything I've done in life I've done by choice, including all the bad choices and all the mistakes I made. They were all done by choice, regardless of how depressed you were or whatever you were doing. You still made a decision to do them. And that's that. Well, there we go. What a beautiful day. It's absolutely freezing, but I've had a wee bit of shelter on this side of the hill. So if my legs have not seized up, I'm going to make my way along the river. I'm going to get a nice cup of tea and I'm going to have something to eat. I'm reading here somebody saying about seizures and stuff. I'm thinking that it might be CBDs they're talking about, the oil. Listen guys, see if it works. Go for it. The Bandit, hello, how you doing? Yeah. it's important to be decent and try and acknowledge people and realise that I'm a strong character, I've got a strong will, but at times in my life, you know, I had weakness and I made bad decisions, and now I get to enjoy the guilt of them for the rest of my life. So, you know, you get up in the day and you deal with your problems. That's what I do. I try and put them somewhere that I can, you know, get on with my day and not hammer myself too much, which I have done for several years. And you just try and make right. There's time enough to make right, so that's what you try and do. And try and live a decent life. Try do no wrong to people, and, you know, try and treat folk the way you like to be treated. Respect's a two-way street. So I'm always respectful, and I always try and be respectful. It's a better version of me than it was last year. It's a better version of me than it was 5 years ago. And there's always room for improvement. I find this is like medicine for me. This is what works for me. You know, CBD oil or smoking a joint or having 6 beers might work for you. This is what works for me. These mountains work for me. That there is my medicine. Being up there, being in pain, being in stress, being in fatigue, being under pressure, being tested is what works for me. And that, if that makes me masochistic, well, then I'm masochistic. But I just think we're all designed differently, and we have to find what works for us. And I've done all the other stuff, and you know, I drank to excess, and I was a binge drinker. Didn't work for me. It did nothing for me. So, Chris Goodwin, hello from the Houston Inn. I know the Houston Inn, Chris. Hope you're sitting there enjoying yourself, having a nice bit of scran, mate. The wee Houston Inn. Well, guys, the Aqua Adventurer. How you doing, Lee? Served in the Marines with Lee. Lee's in Belfast. He's got a great channel, the Aqua Adventurer, on YouTube. Lee does his diving, goes out himself and dives all around the coastline in Northern Ireland. He's some boy. I'll buzz you later, Lee. In fact, I think you've called me, mate, but I was down in that glen. The signal's crap. Well, I'm going to get this all carcassed down the road. There we go. Happy days, right? Have a good day, Nilo. Cheers, brother. See you all later, guys. Thank you very much.